If I said to you, you are going to fight your worst enemy in 6 months' time. However, in this hypothetical scenario, your worst enemy has a superpower. He has the superpower to dictate your governing training principle for the next 6 months of training. He can decide whether you train smart, or he can decide whether you train to failure. Which one's he going to pick? Which one is going to keep him up at night, riddled with fear? If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name's Paul Green. I'm a former British paratrooper and a Special Forces Support Group operator. Over the past 10, 12 years, I've trained thousands of elite soldiers, and now I've left the army and I coach mainly martial artists in helping them delete injuries and build physical body armor, physical resilience. And yeah, back to this question. We've got training smart and we've got training to failure. Before I get into just talking a little bit about each, I'm just going to make an observation because I've got a lot of experience coaching both sides of this, and I've seen how both of these areas, both of these types of person progress through their training or don't progress that much, right? More on that in a sec. One thing I find fascinating about these two different demographics, let me know which one you are in the comments below, is what they think about the other person. You've got the person that trains smart. He looks at the person that trains to failure and thinks that he is going to injure himself. He thinks that in 5 years' time, he is going to have arthritis. In 10 years' time, the person that's training smart is living in that internal risk assessment, right? We talk about this all the time on the channel. Basically, often given into that survival part of your brain. It's like, it's okay, take your foot off the gas, right? The other person is he basically listens to that part of the brain and tells him to fuck right off. I don't give a fuck about what you think. I'm going to do it anyway. That's what the person does that trains to failure. Listens to the survival part of his brain saying, stop, you're going to die, calm down. And he goes, fuck off, dickhead. The body is capable of whatever I want it to do. I'm going to do it anyway to the best of my ability. Right? One thing that's very important about the person that trains to failure is he doesn't really care about how anybody else trains. Like, he doesn't think about the person that trains smart and go, he's going to get injured. He literally couldn't give a flying fuck about that person because he's too focused on getting to where he needs to be on a physical standpoint. I find that really interesting, right? And going back to me, my experience, listen, everybody has, a governing training principle, and one thing that I can observe training many different blokes, many different age groups, and women as well, some women in there in the mix as well, 206 women in my last unit in the army, bunch of fucking lunatics, never again. I only coach men, by the way, right? Women, no chance. Anyway, one thing that is certain, and the pattern I've noticed doing this for the past 12 years, is the older the person, the more that they start falling into this training smart category. And what do I mean by training smart? You know what it is. It's taking your foot off the gas. It's having a rest day. It's certain rest periods. It's perfect technique. It's having reps in reserve. It's basically not fucking absolutely obliterating that survival part of your brain. It's always having that little bit of hesitation because there is a little bit of fear. I say a little bit of fear, there might be a lot. Again, let me know in the comments below which one you are and your experiences of being that type of character with regards to your training. This is not a criticism. Obviously, I've trained a lot of men. I've got a lot of people results to be in some of the harshest environments where there is life. There is lives on the line, right? I have my own personal biases. I know what works best. I know what doesn't work best. And I'm just simply explaining, my opinion, but also opening up, your opportunity to give your opinion as well. So, when results are the priority, one is a clear winner. When feeling good is the priority, the other is the clear winner, right? You can probably agree with that, right? But this is where I get really annoyed, and this is where I think it's a real shame that the psychology of men nowadays falls into a lack of belief. And, it might be harsh of me to say that because you train. I'm talking specifically to you that train smart here. So it's, it is a lack of belief, and it's kind of a slowing down. And I believe a slowing down is a slow surrender. And everything that I'm about as a man, as a coach, is about giving you the platform to speed up. And it saddens me that men are able to justify slowing down. I understand that it might be difficult for you to, believe what I'm saying to be true, especially when you've got half of your mates that are jealous that you're actually dedicated and disciplined enough to train in the first place. And then you've got people like me that are criticising the quality of that training. And that's exactly why you should listen to me, right? I am not one of your family members that is going, take a day off, you've trained 3 times this week. I am somebody that wants to fucking pull you forward.